bass chicks and bass dudes. This is your girl here, Franklin Basschick, coming at you with a new video today. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about 7th chords. We're going to be talking about major, minor, and dominant. So if you have a pen and paper ready, let's get started. Basically, what is a 7th chord? So a 7th chord is basically a triad with the added 7th on. And a triad is just a 3-noted chord, and it's composed of the 1st, 3rd, and 5th. So when we want to make it a 7th, we just add on the 7th of that key. So for example, we'll look at the major and the minor are the same and how they are going to be set up as a 7th chord. So if we take C major, we make it a major 7th. It would be C, would be our root, so our 1. We have to have our 3rd next, so it's going to be E. After that, we need to have our 5th, so it's going to be G. And then our 7th is going to be B. And so we find that in the scale. So if we do every other note in that scale, that is going to be composed of our 7th. And generally when we think about 7ths, they're always going to be odd numbers. So C is our 1, E is our 3, G is our 5, and B is our 7. And that's a major 7th. If we look at a minor 7th, it is the same structure. It's a 1, 3, 5, 7, but we're just doing it in a minor key. So if we did A minor, since that has no sharps, no flats, it would be A is our root, C is our 3rd, E is our 5th, and then G is our 7th. And that's how we would compose the minor 7th. And then finally the dominant 7th. So the dominant 7th can be a bit tricky because there are notes that change. So depending on if you're looking at it from a major or minor perspective is how you can determine what the dominant 7th is going to be. So I've seen it as people stating a dominant 7th is like a major 7th with a flatted 7. So you can definitely think of it that way. And another way that I have found out for it to be would be a minor 7th with a raised 3rd. So for example, if we did the A minor 7th again, so the A minor 7th is A, C, E, and G. If we want to make that dominant, we have to raise that C 1/2 step. So that would be our 3rd. It would be raised a 1/2 step, so it would be A, C sharp, E, and G. And that would be our dominant 7th. And how the dominant 7ths are written is the root with a 7 next to it, as opposed to the A with a small m, a lowercase m, and a 7 next to it, or in the case of a major, a C with a capitalized M and a 7. So if we did then the C7 from the major 7th, it would be C. Our 3rd E would be the same, it would be E. Our 5th would stay the same, it would be G. But then our B gets lowered 1/2 step. So it's going to be B flat. So our C7 from the major perspective is going to be C, E, G, and B flat. If we did it from the minor perspective, instead of it being C, E flat, G, B flat, we have to raise that 3rd a 1/2 step. So it's going to be C, E, G, and B flat. And I'm going to demonstrate a couple more examples. So now that I have my bass, I'm going to show you how it looks and sounds. So we're going to do the major 7th first. So generally the same fingering patterns are what you're going to use for any of the major 7ths. So we're going to do a couple. So C major 7, we have C, which is our middle finger, E, which is our pointer, G, which is our pinky, and B, which is our ring. And then we do that on the way down. And it's the same as you go octave higher. And then let's try D major 7. D, F sharp, A, C sharp. These are really good exercises to play as well if you are trying to learn your chords and whatnot and you're trying to learn your scales. So these are really good to play. let's move on to the minor 7th. So let's do A, C, E, G. So my fingers are slightly different there. So we have our pointer for our A, our C is going to be our pinky, E is going to be our ring, and the pointer again is going to be our G. So D, D, F, A, C. And now the dominant. This is where you're really going to hear a difference. So if we played a C7, we have our C, it's going to be an E natural, it's going to be G natural, and it's going to be B flat. So it almost sounds like it's not finished. If we did the A7, it's going to be A, C sharp, E, G. If we did the D, it's going to be D, F sharp, A, C. And those are the 7th chords. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked and enjoyed this, and I hope to see you again soon.